Um, if any of our foreign listeners need like a live-in roommate or a husband or a wife for like hypothetically the next like 4 years, just all theoreticals here, give us a shout. This is the 1 hour one brain cell podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Richie and I are taking a lovely little break from raising chickens in our backyard to record this episode of the podcast. I think we're on 59. I have no idea. A crazy number. Anything above 50 is crazy.
That is true. Yeah, I'm glad you were well. You're in your busy season now, so I appreciate you coming on and still doing this podcast. Last week you did it. I believe you don't even remember anything you did on the show last week because you were like still asleep or half asleep or three-quarters asleep.
Yeah.
But you made it through, and you're back here today, and then you're gone again. So
Yeah,
thank you for putting
a very special from the hotel room episode next week. So just know how much I love doing this.
So thank you for putting up with me to do this while you're still half asleep during your busy season.
Of course. So as always, I'm joined by my very generous co-host over there and Razzie Award winner Richie Flores.
And I am joined by my co-host Quan Smallpox Randolph.
I'm not gonna ask, and I know you're not gonna elaborate, so we're just gonna let that one hang. Okay. We have a lot this week, and most of it is F1 testing, and this may be a first here on the show, but I think you paid more attention to F1 recently than I did because the testing was at like a more reasonable hour for you typically.
Well, when you say reasonable, I don't know about that, but
well, for you with your sleep schedule, yes. For me, it was like 2 a.m. and I was catching the back half of like the second session of each day, but not that much. So I'll let you lead the people on this wonderful journey through the 2025 cars on track.
Yes, testing in Bahrain, our first look officially at the 2025 grid on track. And I watched. So the session started at midnight Arizona time. So I stayed up and I watched at least the beginning of all three sessions. I stayed up. The latest I stayed up was 2:30. So I watched 2.5 hours. Quiet you. I watched 2.5 hours. So I stayed up till 2:30 on Tuesday. Not Tuesday. Jesus, on day 2. While Lewis was in the car, so I was watching Lewis in the car while he was doing his faster, his like quicker laps. But yeah, we do have some highlights to get through. So let's get to it, and we'll get your reaction to the highlights. Okay, so on day 1, Lewis was in the car for Ferrari for the first time, publicly at least. And then we got a look in the garage at his new teammate, Charles Leclerc. And this is what Charles was up to in the garage. We'll have this. Here we go.
Oh, someone needs a babysitter here. He's fully asleep.
Charles Leclerc, wake up. The season's started, fella.
Oh, no, I think you might be meditating.
Are you sure?
You can't be sleeping with that many people watching you.
Well,
Surely not.
trust me, that's your entire life.
Oh,
That was
one of my favorite things about testing is like 1, the number of drivers sleeping, but 2, the commentary, because they didn't have anything to do either.
Yeah.
So they were just peering in the garages. There were a couple of people that I think it was Natalie that went on a run about whether Liam had highlights in his hair or not.
That was so good.
For like a good couple of minutes. They were trying
10
to
minutes.
figure it out. Yeah, it's just that was the kind of riveting live action commentary we got during preseason testing is like, does Liam Lawson have highlights? Is Charles sleeping? What else did we get? I mean,
We got who's a rookie and who's not a rookie, including finding out that Karun Shanduk, who's part of the F1 Sky Sports, has raced in less Grand Prix than Liam Lawson, and so Liam Lawson is a rookie. So does that technically mean that Karun Shanduk would still be
Is still a
in
rookie?
Formula 1? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, are we counting Ollie Behrman? He hasn't done a full season, but he's in a couple. Yeah, it's the whole thing was. We were taking inventory of the hairlines over there at Alpine. Welcome to the season.
Yeah, welcome. Well, it was great. It was terrific. So that was part one. That was the big storyline. And then we also got on, I believe, also on day two, we had a power outage at the track for an entire hour. No, I wasn't awake. I wasn't awake for this particular portion of the show, but I woke up to it, and yeah, they had to add on an hour of time because they lost power at the track, and the Ferrari mechanics were like using flashlights to like work on the car. Like,
yeah, they all were. I think Esteban had his iPhone flashlight out in the cockpit in the Haas and was like trying to see things, and people were running between paddocks with flashlights, and they had generators. I got pretty much all of my news except like day 3 from F1 Twitter. So shout out to all those folks who were like very much watching and keeping an eye on everything for us, because I was asleep, and when I was awake, I was barely functioning. So.
All right, so yeah, we had the power outage, and we also got
power outage just reminds me of like sleepovers when I was a kid. You ever like turn all the lights out and like play games, like, you know, like hide and seek in the dark, or like we used to play like, this is probably bad, but we used to play like scary games like in the dark.
No, that you just did that. That I never did that.
That probably explains a lot actually about why I am the way I am. I've told you the story. We don't have to get into it on this episode, but I've told you about the time that we had a team party, and we were all convinced that there was like a demon in the house, that we were all playing hide and seek in the dark.
No, I don't recall this. I don't think you told me this.
It was crazy. We can go into it at the end of the show if we have time, because I know we have a lot to cover.
Save it. There's your teaser for the rest of the show to stick around. Anyway, back to Formula One. I'm the one keeping us on track this week.
It's great.
That never happens.
You're wearing your thinking cap. Is that new, by the way?
This?
Yeah.
No, I've had this. This is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it before.
Yeah, I don't wear it. I only wear it during baseball season. It's spring training now. Baseball season's right around the corner. So yeah, this is the old school purple.
I like that. I love that. I love that color scheme. We should keep that full time. Yeah.
And it's got the 20th anniversary thing on the thing. So this is actually one of my favorite hats. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, one of my favorite. I was watching live when Oliver Behrman was running his session, and unfortunate for him and the Haas, his car was straight up falling apart on the track. Like, we're gonna get popped by Formula One for this, but if you take a look there. That's not supposed to happen.
He's going round for another lap.
No, that piece that's wobbling in the and that piece.
And you can see it's an unusual sight.
That is not real. That is not supposed to happen. There he goes.
And I wonder how expensive that chunk of carbon fiber is. You know, like can we get metrics on that? Because that chunk is probably worth several $1,000s, if not tens of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
In mechanical and automobile engineering. Yeah.
That's now, allegedly, this wasn't the first time this happened either, because allegedly a similar thing happened at one of their closed tests earlier last month or something. I don't remember where they were testing, but it happened to Ocon as well. So Hossy, please.
Shakedown, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes when you shake it, things fall off.
Hossy, we please fix your damn car for Australia so we don't have your car falling apart on track.
Keep it together. Keep it in one piece.
We thought you were on the right track last year. You had Haas had a really good season last year.
Mm-hmm.
They got a great young driver, and they got Esty Bestie in there, and so we're
Matsu, excellent team principal.
On the right, they're on the right track finally. So please get your shit together, Haas. We're begging you. We are Haas fans on the show, so get it together.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be horrible if, like, the first race of the season, just pieces are falling off? Like, the Haas is in contention, but it's also not all in one piece. So I don't know what we do about this.
Right. We also had a bus show up on the circuit in the middle of.
Red flag. Nice red flag there. Haven't seen that.
What do you do? What are you doing here, bus on the track? It was like one of those like shuttles to get people around the circuit, and they took a wrong turn.
The safety car.
Yeah, and they ended up on the dang circuit. I'm like,
crazy.
What are we doing here? Testing even for the track officials.
Yeah. That's what happens to the Universal Studios backlot tour. That's what happens when they take you to the Fast and Furious section.
Yes. That's so true. So yeah, that all happened. That's your very quick recap of all the silly things that happened.
And there was glass also. There was also a pane of glass that just fell out.
Yeah. The starter stand.
Right. Just decided to go. Had enough, decided to, take a dive, take a jump.
In more serious matters, I don't know how much of a deep dive you did into like all the actual like data and stuff like that. I tried, but there's so much, like there's so much to dive through with all these cars and everything that was hard to digest. But the Cliff Notes version seems to be that McLaren continues to be the favorite. There was this piece of data that they ran on their like longer race sim setups, and that McLaren over the course of a full Grand Prix around Qatar was like 30 seconds ahead of Mercedes and Ferrari. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, this is going to be bad,
screwed.
Isn't it?
We're screwed.
The only thing I've heard is that a lot of teams are still looking at the flexi wing as a potential, advantage on those cars, and they're still sort of developing that. And I've also heard that they're still trying to crack down on those mini DRSs on the rear wings, on the movable rear wing. So we'll see. There may still be some technical scrutiny and some scrutineering that comes out that says that pieces on those cars are not kosher to have, or whatever it may be. But I'm not surprised. The McLaren was the fastest car at the end of last season. There's really not that much they probably had to do with it except try and make it faster. They didn't, like, we talked about how bad the RB20 was, where it's like, or even the Ferrari at the beginning of last season, right? Like, it was not the car that it ended up at the end of the season. The McLaren at the start of last season was fairly balanced, and it really only got faster. Red Bull looked fast, had a major deficit, and then spent the rest of the season trying to fix the deficit. And then obviously a big chunk of the offseason trying to fix the deficit and get it balanced again. Ferrari seems like they found that balance toward the end of last season. Now they have to make it better. And if we take sort of all those things into consideration, when you look at, over the course of the season, teams that were trying to correct an imbalance are going to be way on the back foot, as opposed to teams that were running well at the end of last year and then can just continue to, technical direct and whatever it may be for their tracks where they have advantages or disadvantages.
Yeah, that was my in my research. That's kind of what I had found, is that a lot of these teams, these aren't really new cars per se, they're like almost like a 2024 B type cars for the most part, where they're just kind of re-engineering what they already have and just upgrading the previous car because they are focused ahead to 2026.
Yeah.
So
unless you're a back of the field runner with major problems, I don't see why you would have spent any time this offseason trying to completely overhaul this car when all those regulations are going to be out the window next year anyway. It's not worth your time and your money and the team direction and the driver's patience and all the things like that. So we'll see. But I liked what I saw from the Red Bull, knock on wood, so far as it appeared to be cooperative and not twitchy or not as like I mean, what's the right word I'm looking for here? But like there were times last season where it just was not responsive in the right way, where it was like sort of panicky handling. It seems like it's more settled.
Seemingly, I think they were even self-admitting that there were still issues to work out. But seemingly, my takeaway for Red Bull seems to be that they at least have a direction, that they know what the problem is, and they're going to work to continue to resolve it. Whereas I think last year they were just on the back foot the entire time, trying to kind of figure out what the heck to do. And the fact that they had Max driving that car, I think it kind of helped shield their problems a little bit, so they weren't as panicked going into this season, where they're going to be a little bit on the back foot to start the season. So I think they understand that they need to be a little bit smarter in how they upgrade the car this year. So I don't think they're going to be quick to come out, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that maybe, like you said, Ferrari last year, like they just got better, and Mercedes too. Even Mercedes kind of seemed to get better and better throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's what's going to happen with RB21. Okay, so they were like, from what I've seen, they were kind of like the fourth fastest team in testing. They ran the least amount of laps of any team. They ran the least amount of laps of any team, which was fascinating and interesting. I don't know what kind of takeaways you can make from that. Like Max was out on the third day all day, and he was still running with the FlowViz on his car, which I thought was interesting. And a little bit, a lot of the other teams were still doing that. Like McLaren and Ferrari and Mercedes weren't really doing that,
No, I know they were testing a new floor. I think for at least a chunk of the time on the third day, and then they realized that new floor was the part of the gave it some more nervous handling. So then they took it off and then put the older one, or the B spec one or whatever back on. But yeah, like you said, the aero rakes and the FlowViz and all that stuff was like mostly in the first day and a half or two of testing. And then teams kind of started to get a feel for it, started to send their drivers on race runs or, whatever it may be. But there were a lot of different tire types happening. There were a lot of different track conditions happening. I don't know exactly if the insights that we gleaned from the testing are going to carry over and have a lot of bearing on how the start of the season goes. But
yeah, especially since Australia is so much different than Bahrain. Like it's almost a complete
completely
opposite.
Different tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, real quick before we move on to our next thing, can we talk about the Ferrari?
Yeah, talk about your purchase.
Lewis, I'll talk about this in a second, but I was just showing so anyway, my blood Ferrari, Lewis's first laps in the car, seemingly went fairly well. He seemed to be pretty happy with it. I was reading some stuff today about how this car just seems to fit Lewis's driving style better than the Mercedes ever did in this era of car, in that from 2022 onwards. So I like that. He was second fastest overall, which was great. And it's just one of those things that he's seemingly just going to get more and more comfortable with this car. And there really wasn't a lot of downsides really with how the Ferrari was looking right now. So they seem to be headed in the right direction. They're one of those teams that had the mini DRS on their rear wing. So again, that's probably going to be the biggest storyline to start the season, if that's going to go away or not, like you were talking about. But I'm excited for Ferrari. I really do think they have a chance to knock off. Because I will take Charles Leclerc and I will take Lewis Hamilton over Lando Norris any day. I'm a big fan of Oscar Piastri. I said this last year too. I think Oscar Piastri is the better driver than Lando Norris overall. For me, he's more calm in the car. I think he understands. he is more, I don't know, say professional, but like he just gets it. And Lando
And he
is
has
the
a
number
little
one.
bit more situational awareness
Yeah.
in delicate handling and overtaking and things like that. And Lando hasn't shown that yet. But
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if, because last year obviously we know that Norris was getting the upgrades and getting the the data and the driver priority and all that other stuff. I would be interested to see if the reverse would be true, if say Oscar goes out and really starts collecting some points at the beginning of the season, if they would begin to give that priority over to Piastri, or if, as it seems, they've declared Norris their golden
Yeah.
boy, and it
Yeah.
doesn't exactly reflect that in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
would suck.
agree.
I would feel for Oscar in that case.
Me too. I like Oscar. I like Oscar a lot more than Lando for sure. But yeah, anyway, I really do think Ferrari is going to challenge for both the constructors like they did last year and for the drivers' championship this year.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see what they've got in store for this year. And then I have my Lego set, which this is the SF24. So this is the 2024 car. So this technically doesn't have, this technically isn't the car Lewis is driving, but you know what? It's close enough. It is 10 plus.
Are you
It's
able
either-
to build that?
It is 10 plus, so I should be able to build it okay.
Okay.
We were joking in our DMs about how the Red Bull one is 18 plus.
Yeah, and it's like fewer pieces. I'm like, who knows? I don't know.
So yeah, 275 pieces. I should be able to build this okay. I was talking to Corey this week, and because she had sent a picture that she had built like this like little bonsai tree Lego, and that one was like 800 pieces. I was like, oh my god, I'm like building a child's toy compared to that. So
Yeah, it's like the Lego Death Star or something. I'm like,
yeah.
I have some skills. I don't know about that.
So are you gonna get the Red Bull one or no?
I don't know. I have this guy,
Yeah.
but it's not a Lego. It's just a remote control. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have disposable income at the moment, so ask me again later.
We'll put a pin in that one.
Put a pin in that. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
All right, that has been Formula 1 Hour, Formula 1 Brainsaw. I think we don't have much else to talk about. We have Drive to Survive coming out this week. We'll see how that goes.
And next week is race week.
Yes.
It's here. We made it.
Hallelujah.
We made it through the off-season.
Finally.
High five. We made it. That felt like kind of a long time, especially because like the Eras Tour ended at like the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not watching a live stream of the F1 race, and I'm not watching a live stream of the Eras Tour. So what am I supposed to do in my off time? Contemplate existence. Well, I don't know about that.
Play Elden Ring.
I have made measurable progress in Elden Ring. I'll tell you that much. I beat another boss this week, and without giving anything away to people that may be actively playing the game or know something about, if you know, you know, this particular boss, nothing on planet Earth could have prepared me to get nuked by a meteor from outer space in the middle of this boss fight. And if you know, you know. I thought I really had it. I thought I was really cooking here on my first run. I was doing great. I was like, oh, where did it go? And then all of a sudden things start to get a little bright, and here comes this meteor hurtling down to Earth. Instant death. That's the type of game this is. So
Yeah, this game sounds like my worst nightmare.
Well, actually, it's not as bad as some of the others by this studio. I don't know if that makes you feel better, if that makes you feel worse, but there are worse ones. So there you go.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I just play my silly Formula 1 game.
That's
Way
why
less
we
stressful.
stick to F1 and Played Up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
I'm still mad that freaking car, that guy wrecked me last night. God.
That was crazy. I got a text from Richie last night, and it was like, in case you wondered how bad the AI is, like I was leading at Silverstone and got spun with like 4 laps left. It was, and the replay was kind of crazy. The AI is not smart in this game,
so
and when
dumb.
you turn it up, it doesn't get smarter; it just gets faster.
Yeah.
So any mistakes you made will just be punished quicker.
I got completely rear-ended by this guy running in P2 who I was a little bit slow, a little bit offline because my tires were worn out, and so I was like trying to baby these damn tires and defend as best I could. Nope, just got rear-ended and turned. Luckily I still had the auto rejoin on.
Oh
and
yeah.
So like I tried to save the car and I wasn't able to get back on track in time, so they just reset me on the track.
Just reset
in P5, and I came home P5, and so at least I stacked some points. I'm still the lead. I'm still P1 in the driver's standings right now. About halfway through the season.
F2,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'm still happy I won Monaco, bro. When I won Monaco, that was the happiest day of my life. I could not believe I managed to pull that off. I'll tell you that much.
That was great, and it was like a full race too. It was like 35 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never thought I'd be able to do that. Thank you, Thrustmaster, for building me a wheel that I could actually get around Monaco without making a complete fool of myself like I used to on the controller.
Endorsement. That's your endorsement right there.
Yes. Yes.
Like I never used to be able to drive this track, and now I can.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm happy for you. I can't wait to go head to head now that you've like stepped your game up significantly.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's good. I need a little test. All right. Have you stage managed pulled any of these Oscars looks? Because that did occur this past week. 2 days ago?
Yes, I did. I have this up. I have a list from BuzzFeed, so we're just gonna go through these in order. I have no idea.
Let's do it. This went well last time.
Yeah, it did. We're gonna begin with number 1 overall. Timmy.
Chalamet. You sent me that he looks like Taylor Swift in the Me music video. Let me offer you a stick of unsalted butter.
All right. My comeback is he looks like the man in the yellow hat from Curious George.
Curious George. Nice. Good pull. Excellent reference.
Okay. Here's Ariana Grande. Lampshade edition.
Yeah. She looks like a seashell, like the seashell that like steals your voice in The Little Mermaid.
I did see a video where she like
am I not remembering that correctly?
She was doing a standing ovation and she put her phone on the
on the ridges, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was great.
As you should.
Here is Elle Fanning.
Okay. The long black bow is kind of giving like the bottom half of her kind of looks like a stick figure. Where like and I think it's just the contrast to like her and the light background, but like her top half is human and her bottom half is like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like stick figure.
Demi Moore,
who should have won for The Substance.
No Pilaf. Pilaf did not make an appearance at the actual show.
That's very sad. She looks like very couture medieval armor, or like maybe a gilded lobster. What is it called if you silver? Because isn't gilded just gold? I don't know what it's called.
Gilded
if
is
you,
gold.
Silver leaf a lobster, but that.
Jesse Eisenberg, number 5 overall and the most generic looking.
It's a man in a suit.
Yeah. He's missing his IU hat though.
He is. He's very much missing his IU hat. Good representation there.
Have you seen that one yet? Have you seen that movie?
No, but it's on my watch list, and I know that it is readily accessible, so that will make it easier for me to go find it.
It's on Hulu, I believe.
I think so. It's either Hulu or Disney Plus, but they're like the same thing now. So
yeah, good movie. I liked it. Kieran Culkin was great in it. Jesse was great in it too. So
my old neighbor, apparently, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yep.
Lex Luthor.
Yes. There's Conan and his wife there. Conan did a great job hosting, by the way.
He did.
I know. Yeah, I know. You probably I don't think you watched it live, but you've seen clips and whatnot. And I will tell you, as somebody who grew up watching Conan's late night show when I was a teenager, this was 22 years ago. I love Conan. He's still probably my favorite late night host. I'm still mad that he got screwed over from hosting the Tonight Show by Jay Leno for no apparent reason. And so we have to deal with Jimmy Fallon today instead of Conan still hosting the Tonight Show.
Objectively bad.
Yeah, and Conan was great and he was so funny. And the bit at the beginning, like the monologue where he brought out the Shia Lude, the sandworm from Dune 2 playing chopsticks on the piano.
Yep.
Was just elite comedy.
I remember like even up to a couple of years ago, and you'll probably know more about this than I will, but I remember that Conan used to always do a show at Petco Park for San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. And
I would have really liked to go to one of those.
Hang on a second. I have a memento because me, Corey, and Scotty, the first year we went, which was 2017, I think.
Yeah.
We went. Managed to get tickets to go, and so we got to go to one of his shows that he did downtown San Diego for Comic-Con, and
see, when you were looking up, I was like, "Is there a bug? Is there something wrong?" Like, oh, that's awesome.
This is like the SDCC
like Chase Conan, yeah.
Conan Stormtrooper, yeah.
I like that.
So you can only get this, I believe, at his show. This is 2016. So did we go in? We must have gone in 2016. Oof, geez, that was so long ago.
I think I went in 2016. Were you there the same year I was there?
We were there the same year, but we were like doing opposite. You were only there for a day. We were there for like multiple days, and so we didn't cross paths. But
our paths did not cross at school.
All right, let's continue here.
One of my other Conan bits, my favorites, is with Billy and Phineas, where she's like, "Conan, I would like it if you just screamed as loud as you could." And he just is like, "All right," and goes in the corner and takes off his headphones and just shrieks. I feel like that's the kind of person he is. I really enjoy that. Yeah.
There's no like you never hear anything bad about Conan. He seems like truly one of the nicest people you can ever think of. So let's move on here. Let's move on.
All right.
Do not know who this person is, but this is apparently Bretman Rock.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of this person. Then this looks like Elden Ring character armor. Like you can pick your starter classes. This is like Elden Ring samurai base game armor.
You mentioned
like
this
Avatar:
looks
The
like
Last
Gilded
Airbender.
Age. Yeah, this looks like the Gilded Age. If the Gilded Age was a piece of clothing, that's what this would be.
This is
the bronze in there.
This is wardrobe they didn't use from Shogun.
Speaking of Shogun, hang on, I'm gonna remove this for a sec. Did you watch Shogun or no?
No, I'm unfamiliar.
Great show. Highly recommend checking it out. But it was announced on Tuesday, the day we're recording, that the main one of the lead actors, the guy who plays the Englishman in the show, he was cast in the new Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie, and so if you're watching us, folks, because seemingly everybody's getting a role in this movie, you check your emails because you too might be in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Because
you might have an email from Chris. Yeah, check your email. You get any weird like voicemails from unknown numbers with a Hollywood area code lately?
Yeah.
Just pick up. Yeah.
And literally every day there's like more and more people being out of this movie. I'm like, why are there so many people in this movie?
People are saying that too. They're like, the reason like so many random A-listers are like missing from the Oscars is because they're all in like Marrakesh filming the Odyssey movie. Like, yeah, all of Hollywood is there. Next question.
Next up, we got our boy Yura Borisov here from Menorah. Looking very bald. Looking very bald. He was good in Menorah too. Menorah is actually coming out on Hulu later this month. So when it comes out to Hulu, check it out. Obviously won Best Picture, but highly recommend. Great movie. Really funny
Mark
movie.
Platt, the producer of Legally Blonde.
Okay, yeah, I knew that. Did not. I had no idea. We have Alex Martin Dean and Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi is looking.
I didn't know that.
Like...
Whoopi's looking like she kind of looks like a pool tarp or like what do you call it? Like vacuum sealed. She looks like a vacuum seal bag.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
I didn't know that Whoopi had a tattoo. Whoopi's got like a big shoulder tattoo that's like kind of dope. Like I was not familiar with your game, Miss Goldberg.
Yeah, it doesn't show up here.
I don't know if you can see it, but she does. It's like a snake or a dragon or something, I think. But
we have Connie Nielsen here.
All right, she's the drapes blowing in the wind in front of Nosferatu.
She found the diamonds from Titanic.
She found the heart of the sea, the heart of the ocean, heart of the sea,
heart of the ocean.
I think it's the heart of the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Edelstein
of
looking like he just got out of bed with that hair. Bro, he looks like me. His hair is literally it looks like mine. Like I too can have a all-star haircut.
Honestly, your styling right now is not bad.
No, it's I've been wearing my hat though, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Pompadour.
I don't know. I'm not familiar. Don't ask me anything. I'm just the personality hire.
All right. Yep, there he is.
You know what?
Look at his little smile. This is the guy that looks like Esteban Ocon, by the way. That's him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
What's his character's name? Vanya.
Vanya. Yeah.
Yeah. I will no slander to our man Coleman Domingo, but like men at award shows, we said this on the Met episode. Try harder.
Yeah.
Do something not basic. And it can't just be like I picked a different color pant to wear with my black suit jacket. It's like take a risk, do something brave. Ask your stylist.
Adam Sandler did it. Adam Sandler showed up in the dang thing with basketball shorts.
That's Adam Sandler though. He's allowed to do that. And he should.
That bit was really funny.
Chalamet. Yeah.
All right,
what are you doing here?
We can move on. Dude, what? Dude, all these dudes are wearing the same exact crap.
Right.
So we don't.
Right.
Golly, we can just move past this guy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
There's. Karen Karagulian, who was also in Nora.
Suit, man in a suit. Move along.
Oh, here's Coralie Farragut of the Substance fame.
Yep. I'm struggling to imagine what that necklace looks like. The fact that it like goes over the front of her dress it's kind of giving like slug. Diamond slug. She looks great though, and she probably should have won. The Substance won for hair and makeup.
I don't recall off the top of my head, but I think they won for something. Yes,
I think so. I think it was hair and makeup.
Here's Marley Martin.
Yep.
Some nice simple black there. These aren't as fun as the last time we did this for I think the Golden Globes or something.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah. Ramel Ross, director of Nickel Boys, which I just watched.
Very Blade in that, like.
Yeah, the all black. Yeah. Nickel Boys, Go check it out. I think it did not get as much love as it deserved. It is so unique, and it is a movie that like is that you can watch multiple times because there's so many things happening visually that it's hard to take the movie in after just one viewing, and it is just so different than what else you're going to see, as your top tier elite movies. And so I really liked it. Check it out. The cool thing about the movie and the thing that most people know about it is most of the movie is filmed with POV style. So it's filmed in the first person. It's filmed like you're seeing what the character is seeing pretty much the entire time. And so it's really, really interesting. So highly recommend it. Check it out. It is available on MGM Plus, which you can get a free trial for. That's how I watched it.
Okay. Because I was like, now we're just making up streaming services.
Yeah,
We've said this before. Like, not everything needs a streaming service.
It is. So Ramel Ross, again, I think he was one of the people that really should have been more in the conversation for best director this year, like Corley Farragut. But anyway, yeah, that's Ramel looking with the the kind of I'm just Ken tie there he's got on.
Oh yeah, or maybe like evolution of Tom Haverford from Parks and Rec. This is very Entertainment 720.
I can see that. That's fun.
Rent a swag.
Marissa, great show. That's such a good show. We have Marissa Baudet here. I don't really know what movie she's from, but
I think she's from Wicked as well. Kind of Jessica Rabbit here. Kind of giving Jessica Rabbit.
Rabbit
with the red dress.
Another great movie. We have Lisa here. Again, don't know who this person is.
I think. Oh, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna make some people angry if I say this, but I think she's like a K-pop singer artist.
Sounds right. She's got the, what was it called? The Rose of the End of Time from The Last Jedi.
I don't know. I don't like that movie, so
I just made a reference to a movie you've only seen one time, but that's what that.
Yeah, and we'll never see again. That's fine though. I like that look. It's a little different. That's a man in a suit.
Come on, man. Give us. Oh, Miles Teller with the shades.
Miles Teller. That's a man in a suit.
I watched a movie of his recently, and I completely forgot he was in it. Like 3 days after I watched it.
His wife is kind of giving Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine.
Yeah,
I like.
Real quick story about the Miles Teller. So he's in the movie called The Gorge on Apple Plus with Anya Taylor-Joy. And we were talking about the movie a couple days later after I saw it, and I was like, because we were talking about Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was mad that she doesn't have blonde hair in the movie. And I was like, who's the guy in the movie? I couldn't remember who played the guy in the movie whatsoever. I was, Miles Teller, pretty, Miles Teller, pretty, well-known name now. He's in Top Gun, and I could not for the life of me remember that he was in the movie. It's like, it's the Anya Taylor-Joy movie.
The Anya Taylor-Joy movie. Yep, that one. I thought she was a redhead because I had only ever seen her in the Queen's Gambit.
Right.
And she's very blonde. Either naturally or dyed, but she's very blonde.
Yes. All right, back to our list here.
I was bamboozled. I was baffled, hoodwinked.
Rachel Sennett in the pink here.
Rachel Sennett. Yeah. She kind of looks like a gemstone that you would mine in like the Webkinz Cave of Wonder or whatever it is. She would be hanging from the ceiling with like a gemstone. Great though.
Her
and great. Ralph Lauren. Yeah. That's a good look. Very gold leaf. That's gilded. That is what gilded is.
Yes.
Got it.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Speaking of Parks and Recs.
Demure Ron Swanson here. I loved
Go
him
ahead.
in We're the Millers, by the way.
Never
Just
seen
like-
it. Never seen it.
Wow, recent revisit that has Nick Offerman and Catherine Hahn in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Guess I got to see it then.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Scott and Guest just
And Guest, it kind of looks like that could be his mom. Like that feels a little disrespectful to just
Yeah.
put and Guest. Can't you put his mother? They're doing
Get
a
a
little
name.
matching there. A little
Yeah,
tone
there's
matching
the
with
green.
the color.
Yeah.
I like that.
Apologies, I do not know how to pronounce this person's name, but shout out.
Ingenue.
Don't-
It could be ingenue. It could be Ingenue. I'm not certain.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna even try.
This is a crow. This is a bird.
Yeah, this is very Moira Rose.
Yes, it is. It's the Crows Have Eyes 3,
Mm-hmm.
the crowing. Yeah. Great.
Fernanda
great.
Torres, looking like
Torres
she's
from
about to
I'm
hop
Still
on the
Here.
court to cheer Go Team.
Yeah.
The frills there.
Yeah, with the
Pom-poms.
Mm-hmm.
Pom pom. I haven't seen that movie yet. I do want to see it though. Whenever it
I
comes
heard
out.
it's good. I heard it's good.
I'm still here.
Man in a Velvet Tux. Ooh, what is the cutout on that one? That's interesting. It's it's giving the stick figure thing with the black like silhouette on the nude body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That could be.
Oh, here's our boy!
Willem Defriend.
Yes. I watched him last night in a movie, actually.
He looks nice in that.
Mhm.
It's a man in a suit again, but the monochromatic is at least somewhat of a welcome departure from black jacket, black pants, white shirt, black tie.
Yeah. I watched The Florida Project last night, and
what did you think?
I loved
I've
it.
seen that one.
I gave it 5 stars. It was for me. It was and I'm very diligent with my 5-star ratings, as you know.
Yeah.
I don't give very many movies 5 stars. And so I went in. Mm-hmm. So I went in like I was like I don't know if I'm gonna like this because I wasn't sure 100% like what it was about. Sean Baker movie, director of Anora. And so I want to go back and watch some of his movies. And Florida Project was incredible. It was so beautifully shot. It was better. It was a better looking movie than Anora. Anora's it's kind of hard to describe, but it's
It's a bigger budget. Like that's just what you have to work with. This is very, very limited. Like shot.
It was
in
made
one
for 2 minutes. But
place.
again, this movie looks better than Anora. That's what I'm saying. Florida Project
It's
looks.
an indie film. It's an indie
Yeah.
project, but it was the kids made me mad the whole time, and I like couldn't really get over that. Willem was great in it, but I kept being irritated at the children the whole time, and that like rocked it down a couple of stars for me.
That's kind of true. Like the entire movie hinges on whether or not because the kids are kind of the lead of the movie for the most part. You're following around these kids being terrorists the entire time.
Absolute menaces, yeah, and it never gets better.
I was the entire movie. I'm just like, again, I mean, it's the entire point of the movie, but they're off doing their own thing with no parental supervision whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who is just letting these 2 6-year-olds walk like a mile down the road to try and bum ice cream off of these poor people? I was like, but they were great. The actors who played the kids were great in it.
Yeah.
And I read that most of the time when they were like interacting with each other, all that stuff wasn't scripted. So they were just, doing their own thing. And the end of the movie is absolutely heartbreaking. So if you want a good cry, go watch The Florida Project. Highly recommend it. Again, I liked it better than Anora. I think it's a better all-around movie and a better, more interesting, fully developed story. But anyway, and Willem Dafoe was great, and he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in that movie. Yeah.
He's really good in that. He manages to find a good balance of like being the super stern property manager and also like he does care, but like secretly.
Yeah. All right. So that is Willem Dafoe.
I don't remember what I gave that, but it was not 5. It was maybe
You gave it 3.5. You gave it
3.5, yeah.
3.5. Yep. Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa looking like
Muad'Dib here.
She's about to.
Like she's
Yeah, she's about to
It's Dune.
release the plagues upon Egypt. Return the slab.
Do not know who this person is, but that's a lot of flowers.
If you scroll by real fast, it kind of looks like the black mold growing on the walls of Jacob Owen's apartment.
Yes, it does. Don't know who that is, so we can just kind of skip on these people. Boring.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think we
Take
got
some
the gist of
risks
it.
here, ladies.
Oh,
and
here's
gentlemen.
Miley. There's Miley.
Miley
always looks good.
I would prefer if Miley maybe put her eyebrows just a little darker, but that's just me.
Oh yeah. You can barely see him.
That's just me personally. Some people really pull off this look, and if you can, you go for it. But I personally would look like an egg with no eyebrows.
Michelle Yeoh in the blue. Good for her. She's great. I like
It's a great color.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone in this
Get
very
it, Emma.
mermaid scale dress.
Missing the pockets that she had at the Golden Globes, I think. With
Yeah,
popcorn.
there's no popcorn pocket in here. But she does look like she's about to ask you to play mermaids. Might be fun.
Our boy Sebastian there. Good for him that he got a nomination for Apprentice, I think. Oh,
Ooh.
Peacock.
Yeah, definitely. Like reeds, like cattails on the side of a river.
Sterling K. Brown going with the
Brown.
white. Okay.
All right.
Amy Poehler. Speaking of parks, we had a Parks and Recreation reunion here today.
A little bit, yeah. Amy Poehler looks nice. Queen Latifah looking like a blooming rose. All right.
Giancarlo there.
Los
Meg
Pollos
Ryan.
Hermanos, Meg Ryan.
Ava DuVernay.
I don't know.
This is a
I don't know
look.
what to say about this one. This is something. This is this is one of those like prefab like tiny houses that have like the tin roofs.
It looks like she is like employed the engineers from Formula One to like, hey, can I take your wing design and put it on my shoulders?
Yeah, she's like gutted some stormtrooper armor and was like, this will be good. I want shoulder pauldrons.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. I like this look for Laura Dern, but it's also Laura Dern's. She can do whatever the heck she wants.
Halle Berry just never ages. Truly ridiculous and not fair.
That dress on that person above Halle Berry looks just like Sydney Sweeney and Anyone But You.
It does.
Yeah. My brain went there. Halle Berry. Halle Berry's Twitter is really, really funny. I don't know if you remember Wiggate from like a handful of years ago, but
no.
She had a really diabolical wig in, I think the movie's called The Call that she did a bunch of years ago. And people were like memeing the wig or like asking her questions about the wig. And now like whenever things come up, she'll respond about the wig. She's funny on Twitter.
All right. I don't know how much. This article. We're only like halfway through.
Goldie
So
Hawn?
we'll go through a couple more. Goldie Hawn.
I have a couple
Icon
I'm
that she
waiting
is.
for who I'm pretty sure that you will know who those people are.
All right. Well, we can just kind of scroll through these quickly. Oh, there's our boy
Coleman.
Coleman. Let's go. Come on.
Great look, Coleman
Our
Domingo.
boy.
This is high fashion Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love it.
Well, yeah, serving Daredevil. He was funny because there was a clip like in between commercials of him on stage. Like I think he was reading to present or something, and he's like getting the crowd like super hyped up and like dancing on stage.
Yeah, like why can't we see that?
Big Coleman Domingo fan. Speaking of movies to go see, Sing Sing. He's in Sing Sing. Terrific movie. Again, should have been nominated for Best Picture. Should have gotten more love. I love that movie. It was a great story. Another movie where it's a little bit of a spoiler, but not really because it's out there in the public and it's easy to look up, so it's not a spoiler. But a lot of the actors in that movie were playing themselves, who were part of the program, the theater rehabilitation program in real life. They played themselves in the movie, and the main like supporting actor to Coleman Domingo's character, he plays himself in the movie, Clarence Macklin, and he like wrote the movie and he was part of the program, and he 100% should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and he was absolutely amazing. Great movie. Go check it out. Sing Sing if you get a chance.
That was the general attitude I got, is like both Sing Sing and Nickel Boys, and to some extent I'm Still Here, were like very critically underrated for what they were as compared to some other films that made it for those categories.
Exactly.
Amelia Perez.
Yeah. Yes, that's one of them. Okay, let's go back here and see if we can find some of the others. Okay, there's Coleman, our boy. Penelope Cruz there. Scarlett Johansson.
ScarJo kind of looks like the Princess Anastasia, but when she goes to visit her her grandma in Paris. Have you seen that movie? Have you seen Anastasia?
Bro, it's been like 27 years since I've seen that movie.
If you know about this one, but it's like when they reunite with the Dowager Empress, like the grandma who's like the last surviving Romanov, and she's like looking for Anastasia, and they put her in this beautiful like sparkly navy blue like opera gown with gloves, and the grandmother doesn't believe her that she's like Anastasia at first. She's like, "You're lying to me. Don't break my heart. Like, I can't do this again. Like, I'm an old woman." The whole thing. It's great.
I believe you. I believe you. It sounds like it happened in the movie. Again, I haven't seen it, I believe, in 27 years.
Okay. Well, that's a crime. So
I remember watching when I was a kid, but
I love that movie.
Rita Wilson, Lily Rose Depp, shout out Nosferatu. Which did win. Didn't win. No, it did not. It got nominated in a few categories, but didn't win anything, unfortunately for me. It's on Peacock now.
Won one of the like smaller categories, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't believe it won anything, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it's on Peacock now. Will you please watch it?
I will.
At some
I will
point?
do my best. I will do my best. I have a lot of things happening right now.
Yes, for Atu. Yes, for Atu.
Very small, and I have no money. But it's free, so whatever.
Rafe Cassidy, do not know who that is. She wrapped herself in paper mailed herself with glue. What the hell's that song go?
She's like the bow on the Christmas present.
Yeah. Put some presents on top of my head. I'm gonna mail myself to you. Do you remember that song?
It's not ringing a bell, but I believe you.
Oh, come on! Jesus.
Look, I'm old, but I may not be that old. Davine Joy,
Samuel L. Jackson,
Uncle Sam,
Jeremy Pope. Little shiny kind of action he's got going on. Felicity Jones, The Brutalist. Very silver.
Again, very silver.
Margaret Qualley.
Yep. So gets given a little Audrey Hepburn there. Margaret Qualley. Brianna Paz. Jeremy Strong.
My boy. He's usually pretty well dressed too.
I like the color choice. It's something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sort of an olive green, perhaps.
Or people. Gal Gadot. Why was she there?
Isn't she in the Snow White movie?
I don't know. I don't know why she was there.
I think she was supposed to be presenting, but then she didn't. So whatever.
Yeah.
RDJ in the Tony Stark glasses. Good for him. Ooh, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
That's if you put it's Tom Hardy in Venom, but in a dress as Venom is. I don't know, taken over. I've only seen that movie like once, but the alien is crawling on him.
Doja Cat, leopard print going on here.
Why is there always a full leopard print fit at an award show?
Always.
Do they draw straws that like somebody's got to do it every time?
Right?
Ooh,
Zoe
Zoe
Saldana.
Saldana looking like the curtains from a theater.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, Cynthia Erivo, this one was crazy, and for me, it's very the Count from Sesame Street, but if he slayed. But I saw somebody that said, God, I wish I pulled it, but somebody said it's like me when I eat the Liberty Bell.
That's great. That's a good joke.
Me sneaking out with the Liberty Bell under my dress, like it's very, very funny.
That's good.
Very
That's
funny.
great. Yep.
Defying
Ricky
Gravity
Circular.
was great though. It was a good opener.
Yes. Holding space.
Mm-hmm.
Selena Gomez. Ray Fiennes,
A lot
my
of-
boy.
A lot of like chainmail style things on the women this year, like scales and mail.
I sent you the thing where Ray Fiennes was doing the George Russell pose,
Yeah, he was T-posing.
which made me laugh way too much.
I couldn't tell you who those folks are. The one is dressed like Lenny Kravitz.
I can see that. Anna De Armas, she's great.
Looking like
Should be
a
more stuff.
chandelier, like a
Dennis
lovely chandelier.
Quaid of the Substance fame.
Mm-hmm.
Sean
Really
Baker.
gross. All of
Yes.
Dennis Quaid's close-ups in The Substance were really gross.
Yeah, absolutely. Mikey Madison,
Mikey Madison, Best Actress winner.
best actress winner.
Big night for Honora.
Yep, Adrian Brody, who gave the longest speech in Oscars history, would
And
not
made
get off
Cillian
the
Murphy
stage.
stand there for the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah, poor Killian. Shout out for him for showing up, first of all, because he really didn't want to be there. Poor guy. But yeah, he didn't do the red carpet. Just showed up to present his award. I was like, cool. I can show up for 2 minutes and get out of here. And nope, just
No, you
up
can't.
there for 10 minutes.
No, you cannot. He's gonna give a 7-minute speech. Good luck.
Somebody nailed it though. They were like, I wasn't able to watch because I was busy doing a live radio show. But somebody when he came out, that they had the Oppenheimer music needle drop. I was like, we're back, baby.
Bored. Bored is
Hey!
still at 0.
This shouldn't count because we're talking.
You had one last week though.
I did.
Yeah. Board is
We
still
did
at
what?
0.
What did I bring it up for?
I don't.
you
You had
remember?
one last week though. No, I was barely there last week.
I don't know.
I was
why
possessed. I was possessed by the spirit of Anna Wintour last week. I was not there. I was not in my body.
Is there anybody else you wanted to bring up? Because we're running super long, so we don't have to go through the rest of these people.
Mostly just Catherine, if you have Catherine.
Oh no, she was at the
Without the
after
pockets.
party, so I don't think she's gonna show up here on this list.
Catherine, I've seen people put her in like a stick of gum, like Photoshop her head on like a stick of gum. She had this, it's a very like square silver dress that could be like an unwrapped Christmas present from Nordstrom. I thought personally she looked like a gorgeous Chipotle burrito. But she found out she didn't have pockets, and there's like and I don't know if this is the first time she's realizing
That was
this, but
funny.
there's like footage of her where she like went to put her hands in her pockets and then the pockets didn't exist, and now we don't know what to do with our hands. It's like, uh-oh, be cool. Very funny.
Yes.
Not a lot of bold fashion moments there at the Oscars, except for the Liberty Bell, apparently. But
I'll bring this up. Can y'all see this? Can you see this?
what do we got here? Oh yeah, we do. I got it.
This was my idea to do a little Oscars pool amongst myself, yourself, and then our friends Kat and Chris. And you and I finished in the dead heat.
Yep.
14-9.
As are all things. It does make me laugh though, because you've seen far more of these qualifying entries
Yeah,
than I have,
absolutely.
and I kind of just picked things that spoke to me, and we somehow tied. So I don't know what that tells you about the way that the Academy voted or the way that we picked, but nothing matters.
I think. Let me see. I think Okay, let's see how we did here. I want to
Chris
see
did
like
well though.
Chris smoked our asses, man. I don't know how he managed to pull that off. Yeah, so I think we did pretty well in like the main categories. I think you picked the best picture correctly. I correctly predicted Mikey Madison over Demi. I did not get best director correct. I thought maybe there would be a little bit of a split, and I picked Brady Corbet, and he lost to Sean Baker. So anyway, yeah,
Once I decided on Anora for best picture, I kind of just carried it through the rest of the categories because typically that's the way it goes. Is like if you win your best writing, like that paves your path to best picture, and then the other stuff dominoes from there. But
yes, agreed. But yeah, Chris kicked our ass. He won by 3. He got 3 more correct than we did, and we did great. We were in the 92 percentile. We crushed it. We beat Kat by quite a bit. Kat finished under 500.
Sorry,
She went 11-23.
Kat went with the hopeful winners, which I really respect. We went with the realistic winners.
That's how I picked. I picked with my head instead of my heart because I was gonna pick the brew. I wanted to pick like almost all brutalist, and I almost did, but I didn't.
As your name was #1 brutalist boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I was expecting that from you, but we went a little more realistic there.
Yeah. So I think we did pretty well in a year that was like there was a lot of it was a pretty close year. People didn't really know. Like last year, we could have ran away with it and just picked all Oppenheimer and done great. But this year is a little bit more competitive. So.
Yeah, and there was controversy and stuff about almost every film. So who knows anymore?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. The Oscars, everyone. Okay. We have stories to tell next week then, obviously, because I didn't get to my very scary sleepover, and you have one more thing on this list. So come back next week for those.
Yes.
It will be me live and in person from my hotel room with really bad audio quality, probably. So we'll see. But tell your friends to tell their friends to listen to our show and tell me where I should ethically source my Hooters merchandise and what you thought about the Oscars this year. And join us next week for our latest episode. We are OHOBC Pod on all of your social media. Follow us or don't, whatever. Just we'll still be here whether you follow us or not. So cool. See you next week, or don't. That's fine too.